Y'all, happy Thursday. Beautiful day today. It's raining right now. Came out the house, it was 75 degrees, feeling amazing. Got my workout in, trained my client. All of a sudden, it's 40-something degrees and raining with a chance of snow. That was ridiculous all in one day. But I was thinking about something the other day. And I'm just like, the life you want to live requires you to not care what anybody thinks, bro. Also requires you to take risks that nobody understands. You know what I'm saying? Like, for instance, I could talk about being an entrepreneur, bro. Like, because when you're an entrepreneur and you first starting out, you trying to get your cake up and you trying to create systems that help people. You know what I mean? You're trying to create something, right? A lot of times your money be tied up. People invite you out, you can't really go. And it's like after a while, if that continues, like it could look kind of funny, like you don't hang out with them no more. You know what I'm saying? You could be saying, yeah, I'm gonna go out, this Friday. You can tell everybody you coming out and you banking on this deal you got being in place by that time. And you realize by Friday it ain't even in place. And all your bread was tied up in that. Now you can't really go. And now you got to cut it off and risk looking like, you don't mess with everybody. Or you could just go there broke and still look weird either way. You know what I'm saying? So you got to pick. You got to pick and you got to be okay with people looking at you a certain way. You know what I'm saying? Like it's going to be what it's going to be. And you got to understand it's all going to make sense later on. And you can tell them later on. But like right in the middle of it, you don't want to be saying all that. You know what I mean? You don't want to let them know all that. You don't want to let them know all the ins and outs because they're still not going to understand. And they're going to give you information that keeps you safe. Like, man, just do this and just do that. Usually when most people start with just, it's something you don't want to do. It's settling. Settling for something you don't really want. Settling for a lesser version of something. When they say just, they start a sentence with just do or it's just. Like that's settling, bro. More times than not, that's settling. And that's not what you want to do. That's not going to scare you. That's not going to push you to make an immediate impact in what you're trying to do. It's just going to keep you safe, which is what everybody wants to be, safe, comfortable. You don't want that. You don't want to be like everybody. So the life you want, it takes a lot of risk. It takes balls. It's very ballsy. And it takes you not caring what anybody thinks. And that's the thing about hard work. That can't be, hard work can't be substituted, bro. I know a lot of people think smart work and hard work is like a substitute. Like you can substitute smart work for hard work, but you cannot. Smart work is simply taking the correct steps instead of taking extra steps. But smart work, finding the smart thing to do is still difficult. Like smart work isn't a side step from the hard work. It's still hard work to do the smart thing. For instance, if I'm saying I want to work smarter, not harder, right? Let's say I go up to somebody and they tell me that there's 5 steps to getting everything I want. There's 5 steps, right? And they tell me those 5 steps. Okay, cool. Now, instead of me having to take 10 steps because I didn't know that information before, the smart work I just did was get around people that have the results that I want and ask them, how can I expedite this process? What exactly do I need to do? What are the steps I need to take? Instead of me being on my own and taking 5 extra steps to find the 5 steps that actually matter and move things forward. You see what I'm saying? That's smart work. And then once you figure out what the smart thing to do is, that's still hard work, bro. Like even if somebody tells you the 5 steps you need to take, those 5 steps are going to be a little bit difficult because they're unfamiliar to you. But those are 5 things you got to focus on. You see what I'm saying? Or you could take 5 false steps to figure out exactly what those 5 steps are. And that's hard work. That's extremely hard work. 5 steps you didn't even have to take versus the correct 5 steps immediately to help expedite the process. You see what I'm saying? Because those 10 steps, you taking 5 extra steps, that could push your accomplishments back who knows how long. But you figuring out what the actual 5 steps are immediately, that can expedite the process and get you what you want a little bit faster. But that doesn't mean you skip steps. That means you got the correct steps earlier, and you took the correct steps over and over and over and over and over again. But you sidestepped those extra 5 steps that you didn't have to take. Because it's going to take extra 5 steps to figure out what the other 5 steps are that actually lead you to what you want. And if you don't know that, then it's like it's a lot of time wasted. And that's all smart work is. Because what you don't know is what really hurts you. So those 5 extra steps, they actually matter if you don't know what you're doing. But if you get around somebody that knows the 5 steps you need to take, now you got action. But people think they can sidestep the hard work. Finding the smart thing to do is the hard work. Doing the smart thing is the hard work. The hard work still has to happen. Now you talking about draining work. That's different. Because you can get drained if you have to, when you realize you just took 5 extra steps for no reason. Or you may feel like you took 5 extra steps for no reason, trying to get to the steps that really matter. That can drain you. That's not hard work, that's draining work. You see what I'm saying? So that's something we gotta understand. Everybody want microwave, everybody want instant, and they think smart work is a substitute. A lot of people doing smart work and it's less work. You know what I'm saying? Like it's skipping steps because they don't understand what smart work is. It's less work. What they're doing is less work, and they're trying to find an easier route. Like smart work isn't easier; it's actually harder. You better off doing the hard work. You better off doing the gritty work. If I'm being honest, you better off doing the gritty work. I could have read 200 books to get some information that pushes everything forward, or I can get around somebody that says read these 2 books at least 3 times a piece, and you'll be better off than those 200 books you read. That's smart work right there. That's smart work. Instead of 200 books, 2 books read 3 times a piece. That's smart work. But that's still difficult reading the same book 3 times. You see what I'm saying? You can't skip hard work. Smart work is still hard work. You can't skip it. That's all I'm saying, bro. You gotta be able to incorporate both of them. Because both of them matter and both of them exist. You gotta find smart work and hard work, and you damn sure not gonna skip hard work while doing the smart work. That's just what it is. I know y'all like that, but it's real though. I ain't trying to sound, I ain't trying to throw no pizzazz on it. That's real though. That's really real. So understand that when you're willing to do both, when you're willing to do both, you got action. You can't be stopped. Because everybody trying to find a shortcut. Take a shortcut, you get cut short. It's that simple. When you somebody that's ready for the long haul, you got big action. The people trying to find a shortcut, again, they want instant, they want quick. They train their mind to want such quick things. I need to see it now. I need to make sense now. You know what I mean? It's like sometimes you got to be willing to take them 5 extra steps sometimes. Sometimes you got to be willing to do that. You searching around for the smartest thing to do when you could have just started. Just start. Sometimes the lane opens up when you just start. And you realize, you know what? This is what I'm going to do actually. And really, whatever decision you make is going to work. Whatever you put your energy into the most is going to work. Whatever you believe in the most is going to work. I've never done a whole bunch of hard work and realized, dang, these are the only 2 things I had to do. I've never actually done that. I'm grateful for all the work I've done. I needed that. Everything matters. Everything built something. I could have did 2 things and expedited everything, but that just wasn't my story. It wasn't my story. I had to do everything. And I like that, bro. It gives me that edge I need. It gives me that edge I want. I like to wear all hats in the business. I like that. Like, it's cool. Maybe it may be a certain time where I outsource. But for right now, I like it. I like wearing all hats. I like doing everything. I like knowing everything. I like knowing the ins and outs and the ups and downs and the rounds. I enjoy that. I like my 5 extra steps. That's just what it is.